FOA Baba.
Pretty much.
FOAwish.com.
I don't remember you signing the contract.
I did.
Everybody you send the contract to, don't sign it.
They use it for the restroom.
We're live.
We're live.
Hold on, let me take my ears off so I can get ready for the show again.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, everybody? And welcome to the bait shop. Got Brian B, Chris, and the guy that looks more and more like Santa Claus every single week. It's either that or he's starting to look like Lyle. I don't know which one it is. Look at you, fancy pants, Brian. Brian B. Fancy's with us tonight.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Guys, after last week, I was like, we gotta find us a pump. We're gonna change it up again. We need to go bait fishing and find the most epic bait fishing people we can find for tonight's show.
What do you consider bait, though? Like,
crappie,
chicken, monster bluegill, monster bass,
night crawlers,
monster night crawlers, monster crappie,
ex-wives.
You gotta have chicken.
Yeah,
have that chicken.
Chicken has to be on that list.
Yeah.
No, that is not bait.
Well, it's dual purpose. So if you're not catching nothing and you're hungry, you can grill it up.
See?
That's true.
It's always good to have a pack of chicken on the boat. If the fish ain't biting, throw some out there.
I guarantee you, if the fish ain't biting, I am. So, but again, as I said, I was like, I'm gonna search through everybody I can find, doing Google searches, best bait fishermen alive, and we've got some people today. But we're going to say hi to folks in chat real quick before we bring our guest in. We got Uptown Chrissy Brown, 922 Crappie Barbecue, Mr. Tim Molina, Small Water Charters. They might not like us tonight. Joshua Perham, Mr. Sampy, Crappie Day Darren, member LG Bass. Oh, he might not like me tonight either. I wonder what I just said.
LG Bass.
Don't fish with us. Nubby's Catfishing, Jersey River Rat. What do you mean not bait? Bass or bait?
That is definitely bait.
Bait.
Catfish Dog. Telly from Hooks and Hammocks.
What's up, Telly?
John Boy's Catfishing.
Stop it, man.
Outdoor and more.
What up, Josh?
Michelle, it's all mine. Reminds me, I've got something for Michelle tonight that I remembered the other day that I need to bring up. Warren Farley.
What up, Warren?
News flash coming to you from outside the bait shop where there is a protest. Bass Lives Matter. Bass Lives Matter.
They do.
Matter.
I fillet one of them jokers and flip it up.
Right.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. The bass that's a delicious fish to eat right there.
Oh man,
I'm gonna tell you what.
Man,
you fry them whole and eat the tail like a potato chip.
Mm.
There you go.
Nubby.
Burrito Catfishing Lady. And I'm down to the bottom. So, yeah, man, I could tell. Yeah, I'd like to eat bass as well. But man,
you know what else likes? You know what else likes to eat bass?
What?
Big
old catfish love them. I just see a catfish down there with him in a headlock.
Frying a catfish? No, hell no. We're gonna cut them up, fillet them, and throw them on a hook. That's what's gonna happen. The rod is gonna start to bend.
I really thought we'd be bringing all kinds of
in a long time, but
like I could just see the bass world looking at that thumbnail tonight, thinking, "What?" And come flying into this chat, defending their honor and stuff. But
maybe
it turns out the show is not that popular.
Damn.
No,
that's true.
A single bass fisherman saw it.
Well, there's two in here. We got LG Bass.
It's small water.
Small water, but small water looks like he already left because he's probably in the corner crying because I talked about eating and
Catfish Dog
using them for bait.
Catfish Dog.
Oh yeah, Catfish Dog. Yeah.
Catfish Dog.
But he's rooting on for the bass, but his name says Catfish.
I like the way you spell that too. Just saying.
It's a copyright.
Just saying.
Ooh.
You should find him every time he comment.
It is kind of copyright. We'll let it go this
I
time.
missed it. Where'd it go? No
Speaking of
bass, no
copyright,
fry.
Speaking of copyright, look at Freddie over here. That was not approved. So now FOA Customs and stealing everyone else's gear is out here manufacturing unauthorized. If you have a shirt, hold on, let me look at that real good. All right, if we see that anywhere, we know it's unauthorized.
Does all Catfish merchandise come with grease
Ketchup.
stains all over it?
Ketchup things.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, you looks like you missed a spot there, Freddie.
Yeah, I might have. He might have went right between the beard and under the shirt.
It's stuck in your bra.
What we say we bring our guests up.
Let's bring them up.
All right. Oh,
Yeah, because you need to learn something tonight, Chad. You need to learn how to catch bait.
Yeah, so everybody give it a round of applause for the masters of bait fishing. Captain Lindia and John from Small Water Charters.
You guys, I hear the build up for this. We are prepared for this. Poor old bass. Well, I don't know what to think. I don't think our bass will eat y'all. I'm gonna catch a bass on Catfish. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna catch me a little catfish, and I'm gonna catch me a big bass on it. What I'm gonna do.
The show has turned in 30 seconds.
30 seconds in. That's all it took.
I
tell you what.
There's some kind of law against. I mean, this is South Florida, man. Y'all come down here talking that, man. The bass guys will have you. Every yard down here's got a glitter boat sitting in it. I mean, I could get some backup quick.
You guys and your glitter rockets.
And don't forget, I have Roland Martin on speed dial. If I got to get back up here, I'll get some backup here.
Send me the link. I'll defend the bait, stories with Roland as well. Oh, look, even Catfish and Crappie.
Go ahead.
Hitting my button. Has bass in his bait tank. Can you believe that, John?
I was on the live when he caught it today. He was
I'm about to say,
I didn't see him catching.
It was a baby. I mean, it was a baby. That's abuse. I mean, it is. It's child abuse is what it is.
I think most everybody here knows who Small Water Charters is, but if you don't, you can go over and check out their YouTube channel, Small Water Charters. They are out of Florida, and anytime you want to go down and catch monstrous bait, give Miss Lindy a call because she's the only one.
I can put you on your PB bait, and yes, hog leg, if you're around, it will be a PB bait.
that is still a big discussion.
Oh, he stabbed me with that one. That's the only one he ever got up under my crack with.
Let's kick it off with that. So it's a well-known debate in this community.
Yeah.
So what is everybody's thoughts on this? Let's squash it once and for all. If you go out on a trip with a guide and you catch the biggest fish of your life of that species, does it count as your personal best?
Nope. When I take somebody,
absolutely not, because here's my theory. Spending many years on the water, the only thing that catches the fish is the wheel. And that's the wheel is the man that's whoever was on the wheel. Now, it's a team. Now, here, let's back up.
Yeah.
It was a team.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a house divided tonight.
We're going to be divided.
Whoever's driving the boat.
There was team effort, but whoever claims the award for it is it's the wheel, 100%.
I disagree.
So you're saying that every time that John takes Lindy out, every personal best bass that she's caught is got to give him the credit.
Well, I don't know how they mess around that bass world. That's irrelevant. But in catfishing,
That
if
ain't
you're
right.
running a guide trip and you stop the boat, you put the rods out, you know, your guests aren't casting the baits out. So
Yeah, but catfishing, you got them in a little hole, man. These fish move every day. I got to look for fish. I have no clue where it's going to be. I know where it was.
you live
I know
in
where they hang
you
out.
live in South Florida. There's a bass under every lily pad. You ain't got to look far.
Yes.
I'm not going to argue that, but there's not a PB bass.
You don't have to look far. Well, hey, look, we're in luck.
A little bit on the guide part, whereas most guides, when they take people out, they will cast for them. And then, it's going to get a fish on or whatever. Then they'll grab the pole, then they hand it to their client. We don't do that.
Right, that's what I was saying. Bass fishing is
throw them, we let the clients reel them in, bring them, so they are completely hands-on.
So their catch is their PB, Chris.
Yes. I agree with that. Okay, let's put it this way. I get bonuses with PBs. So pick to the they count. They count every time.
So if they're responsible or for the PB, are they also equally responsible for the backlash?
I teach everybody. I use only spinning gear, so there's a no to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I get people that are on vacation to Disney World and want to catch a monster Florida bass. So if you watch the way we fish, I can put a spinning reel in a monkey's hand, give him a weedless swim bait, and we can go catch a fish.
Now, we do have a client that brings his own reel.
Right, they bring their own rods when they want
it's
some.
not rods,
Oh, it's a
reels.
reel. Yeah.
Yeah, we have rods for bait casters, but you have to bring your own reel because we do
Yeah.
not supply that.
Right.
That's an interesting subject because a lot of people that guide where we are from, they rely on word of mouth and people in the local area. So are you marketing a lot to the tourism in Florida? Like,
yes, here locals. This is Okeechobee. They pour to us. We do commercials on the local radio station, and like all the bait shops know who we are. And you wouldn't believe the repeat clients I got just from YouTube. That's all my videos are commercials for our charter service. That's why I used copyrighted music. I really don't care about making a penny. Like Coach. Coach came down, booked a 4-day trip. I got 3 YouTube videos. He paid for all that. So I just make commercials. I want somebody to watch my video and know that could be them. They could be standing right where I'm standing, doing the same thing.
It costs money to get me off my boat.
Yeah, bass charters. She doesn't know it. It costs money to get her out of the bass boat.
I know that's right.
Well, I was going to ask you because I actually have a part queued up for a later conversation, but I've noticed in your videos, like the last one, it was music from beginning to end, whole songs. I was like, man, how do you even get paid off of that? And I was like,
well, that's from an old job I had in the 80s. I was like road crew for LL Cool J for a while. So I got like all these inside people. So I get by
what? LL Cool J?
No, that's a joke, dude.
Man, come on. You could have had me going for 10 minutes now.
But the ladies do love John. So it kind of all worked out.
Hey, Nina.
It's getting deep over here.
I was really hoping we'd go down really I was going to more like leaning towards you being the songs that you were using. It was all Queen, like part of that road crew, but I didn't want this to get too derailed. So
yeah. Well, no, if you watch, all my music has something to do with the video.
Okay.
I'm that guy. Me and Lindia can listen to a song and she hears the music and I hear the words. So everything has a meaning. You may not catch it at first, but later you're like, oh, that's what that meant. There's a lot to it there. And I'm an artist, man. I can't let copyright keep me down, man. The man cannot keep you down.
That's how I feel too. I ain't gonna make but 17 cents off of it. Why not play the music and make the video look good?
Coach gets such a. When he comes down 4, 5, 6 times a year. So, he wants to go home, and it's hard to get your buddies to sit down and watch a bunch or look at a bunch of pictures on your phone from your fishing trip. But they can sit down and watch a video with Queen playing the whole way, and he shows everybody that video goes everywhere. So,
well, I do have to say your videos are really well done. So it's probably Lindy that puts it all together. So
No, it's me because editing's in my family. That's a funny story. I kind of learned how to edit from my grandfather.
really,
Yeah, he back in the '60s, he made all those fake moon landing videos.
really,
Yeah, he's the one who made all those fake ones. That's a joke too, dude.
man, you had me going again.
I wasn't going to bust your bubble because I was sitting there like in the 60s. They didn't have nowhere near that technology.
Really, John? Now you're going to tell me something. Eventually, I'm not going to believe you.
Well, see, then you got to believe that those were fake. You know, okay, I'll tell the truth.
I do believe those were fake.
I told Lindy I was going to say that, and I swear she looked at me and was like, huh? I had to explain it, and it totally lost it. So I was like, well, this might fly or it might not fly. I'm going for it.
You're right up.
I wasn't going to bust your bubble when I was sitting there like, ain't wasn't nothing like that back in the 60s to even create.
But if they faked them, then there was that kind of stuff back in the 60s.
Oh, yeah. You got to remember, Brian, we're always like 10, 20, 30 years behind what's actually out there as far as technology. So
very true. But I mean, come on.
That's right, Thompson. LL Cool J fishes with us.
That would be so cool.
That's what I'm wanting, dude. That's kind of what I hope one day is somebody's gonna, one of those you can't make a video till I'm gone kind of trips. I know buddies have had trips like that. So.
Wow.
Oh, well, I'll come down there eventually and fish with you. So it'll be one of your top classic videos.
Oh, that'll be a classic video, all right.
Right. Look.
You good around gators, Brian?
Huh?
Are you good around alligators?
Yeah, as long as they on ice.
Well, if you watch that video I made just not too long ago, there were over 100 around the boat, and we're still trying to fish. And they are swimming. I mean, they're just, you could have walked on them. They're everywhere.
That's first for us.
Seeing that many.
We have never encountered that many, except down at the Everglades, but never at Donkey Lake.
Well, I'll just warn y'all, if I do book a trip with y'all and come down there, just for precautions, bring a pack of diapers.
We have some.
I'm not for sure if I wear the same size as John, so just bring, extra.
Just so you know, poop attracts gators. So,
well,
I had to mute myself because the dogs started barking, and I come back to where you and Brian and John are sharing diapers or something.
Like, what? It's made a wrong turn.
But I mean, it's a great place to live. It gets hot, humid, and all that. But I mean, it's like Chris said. I mean, it's not hard to go find somewhere to fish or chase something. I mean,
well, so this is. I mean, a lot of people don't realize if you haven't fished down in Okeechobee, this is the land of the giants.
It's the land of the giants.
So,
it's been my dream since I was a kid to fish Okeechobee.
So, an average fish, 6, 7, 8 pounds.
Average 6 pound. Yeah, I'd go with that.
4 to 6.
Yeah, donkey land. I mean, you getting big ones all the time. But I got a guy that's lived in Florida his whole life. A friend of ours, his biggest bass is a 6'5". So you still got the guys that just can't get it done. But to sum it up, we turn all our fish over 8 pounds into Florida trophy catch. You get a certificate, T-shirt, wada. Mm-hmm. But in the last 5 years, me and Lindy have turned in 18 over 8 pounds in 5 years. So there's a lot of big fish around.
What's your biggest? You're getting like 10, 15 pounds?
Mine's 10.6. Hers is 9.9. And I guarantee what everybody says, we have lost bigger. Coach had just his last trip. He had that fish come out of the water, and it was a 10-pound class fish. But,
we're braid or
braid, 40-pound braid. And I mean, we're fishing thick grass. And like I try to tell him, anything can happen. Once he starts running and your line catches a clump of grass, it changes the angle. It'll literally pull your hook back out of the fish's mouth. Because when he runs out past grass and then turns back, it's just a whole different angle.
There's the queen of fishing right there.
Pontoon Jody.
Miss Pontoon Jody.
So what's your big bass, Chris, that you want to talk all that?
Mine, I think 6'5".
Yeah.
6'5".
I got to beat on something else. Yeah. 14-2.
14.2. Wow. Was
Jesus
that
Christ.
was that in a farm pond?
Nope. It was on the lake here in South Carolina.
Yep.
There ain't
They
no
come
fish
up
in
all
South
the time.
Carolina that big.
Mine came on
By you having a YouTube channel, Freddie, was it caught on video?
No, this was way before then.
It don't count.
Oh,
then.
you hear that, Brian? It was before they had cameras.
Hey, let me ask you something, Freddie. What did you catch it on?
Lizard, plastic lizard, pumpkin seed lizard.
Oh,
all my biggest bass came off of bluegill.
Mine too.
So bluegill is the bait.
We only fish artificial. We only live bait for crappies.
Yeah, I did a lot of lizard fishing back in North Carolina.
Yeah, she
Castle Bridge,
zoom lizard. That's what she was all about for me in Florida.
Texas rigs.
Now we fish soft paddle tails. That's 90% of what we fish all the time. Because it's so thick, you got to fish something weedless, something you can get above the grass. You try to drag a worm, it gets just watered up. Nothing with any kind of open hook. So you just bury up that swim bait. I might use one bait, but I'm fishing it 30 different ways, until I figure out which way they want it.
There's a couple of places you can use the rattle trap or crankless crankbait or
some holes. Yeah, there's a few pits.
Things like the canals, and there are a few pits.
Right.
But Donkey Land's a 3-foot average depth. Most of our water, I never turn on depth finders, nothing. We'll fish, kind of dip your rod in the water. Well, it's 2 eyes up, real deep in our boat means REEL deep, not REAL deep. If we hit something that's real deep, we're like, oh, hell, we're at a deep spot.
JG got a question. He said, what's the Florida State record? I guess largemouth.
I looked that up. It's like 18 or 19 pounds, something in there. I'm thinking. We have a lady friend, through YouTube that like last year, she caught a 13 something in her kayak. Yeah, from Headwaters. What's up, Curtis?
17.
There's big fish out there. I mean, it's just a matter of time. Roland catches some big ones, but he does shiner charter trips. And I'll be the first to tell you, if you're coming to Florida, you want your giant bass guaranteed. You got like a day to do it. Get you a shiner guide. They're gonna dump you in a hole and put you on him pretty quick. You want to come catch a fish? I'll put you on fish.
What does this say?
What do you mean by shiner guide?
They fish with big old golden shiners, live bait. And I'm talking 1.5 pound bait. They're like double hand size. They're fish. They're
That's what I was saying. The bluegills, Chad.
Yeah.
Danny said y'all use plastic for lizards for bass. You can use lot lizards for bait.
That's 20. Yeah.
See, we have a bunch of lizards in the yard, and we got all kinds of lizards, and we've had that conversation how good a lizard would be as a bass bait. But then we're like, well, I don't know if I could put a lizard on the hook, because you get to that, a lizard's got a little personality. I don't know if I could just. Yeah, he's got fingers and stuff, man. I don't know if I could use him for bait. I'd rather use a plastic one.
I feed them mealworms, so.
I mean, we got.
But you could use a catfish for bait. What is wrong with you, John?
Oh, you could use a bass for bait. Come on, that's like using a puppy.
We used to use
I mean, who would go get a puppy and try to catch a catfish?
Well, not the ones Freddie catch. They're not puppies.
Florida record 17.27 pounds.
There you go. That's serious. I'd have done that.
I was wanting to ask Brian and Freddie how it feels to be on screen with John and Lindia, who catches bigger bass than they do catfish.
Wait a minute, my PB bass is 14 too. Come on.
It's not confirmed. Do you have the citation for it?
And Chad, don't you go there because my PB is bigger than yours.
Yeah, Chad.
Fake news.
It's on video.
You were using one of the you were using one of them scales from Wish.com.
Look, guys,
have talked about
it. It never fails. It always goes to a size contest.
I know, but I want to know. Have you ever seen a picture of this bass that Freddie's claiming about?
Never.
Not even video. A picture.
I have seen a picture of Brian's so-called 72 about 1,000 times.
So-called. Did you all notice before we go on with John and Lindy, because I got other questions for him, but Creole's 72 looked to be about double the size of Brian's.
It wasn't as long.
And I know Creole's a bigger dude. I'm just saying.
That fish wasn't as long. It was fatter.
Here we go.
That's what
Just
I
like,
thought.
never mind.
I was looking at it too when he said it was 72. I said, dang.
That's
I
what
said,
she
that
said.
one's fatter than mine. Mine was long. Hey, call
Here
it what
we
you
go.
want. But guess what? I bet you if I used bass for bait, I probably wouldn't have caught it because I had chicken on.
We don't, Danny, but that's Roland Martin. That's one of Roland's favorite. That's what he does is he uses balloons and
Balloons for life.
float shiners.
So you can't. Well, you South Carolina, you can't use largemouth for catfish bait. So
Yeah, we
they're
can't use
safe. They're safe for catfish bait, but however, they're not safe from frying pan.
Most of our lakes are catch and release only, so they kind of
Really?
too. Yeah, See, Florida learned big bass are a commodity. People don't come down here to catch 3 and 4 pounders.
But wouldn't they want to?
Okeechobee,
Wouldn't
you
they want to call? Wouldn't they want to call some of the little ones?
That's where I'm headed. Okeechobee, you can keep 5, but I think they all got to be like 14 inches and less. They won't let you keep hardly anything big, but donkey land and all, that's all catch and release only. You got to remember, we got gators doing some culling as well, and ospreys and eagles. We watch a lot of fish go out of donkey land while we're fishing.
Have you ever hooked into a gator when you're casting?
Oh yeah, I've had gators steal bass off my line trying to get my damn fish to the boat.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that the gators, they've seen that they're pretty smart and opportunists. They're going to probably follow you around just to get a meal.
They chase your bait every time, which always leads to the boat. So you always got one near you. I mean, you can tell you don't watch our videos. We're constantly scaring them off. I mean, swatting them with the rod. Get back! And all the time.
One time,
You-
I flipped one in the boat,
Yes, I boat flipped one across the boat.
and I about went.
I'm with you, Lindy.
I mean, full blown boat flipped. If that line would have broke or that rod would have broke, I couldn't get him off on this side over the steer wheel. I needed him on that side of the boat. I got tired of messing with him, so I just gung-hoed it across. But if we'd have had a malfunction, it'd have been a malfunction. Because if he'd have fell in the boat, I guess we'd have got out of the boat. But then you don't want to get out of the boat.
If I would have been standing in that boat and a gator comes flying across my head, you would have had a malfunction.
Too
Yeah,
short.
it's on video, dude. I clean sail it across the boat. It's about a 3-footer, probably, maybe a little less. Little small guy, but he's full blown airborne. But yeah, the story with the latest one, I hook my bass out, gators, out in front of you, so he starts cutting you off. Yeah, that's how he catches you. He knows where that fish is going. So he gets halfway, so we're like, oh crap. So I fight him for a little bit. He steals the bass. I reel my line in. We got it on video, dude. This gator swims right up to the boat with my bass in his mouth and just poses for like 30 seconds, turns around and just, not just away from us, straight away, like drop the mic and just rolls out. And we watched him forever just rolling with my fish. And you could tell he came back and just went, they're buttheads. They're buttheads, man. Then mating season, they get real frisky, they get a little, they get exciting then. We were fishing one time and bumped into these two that were actually making gator love, and it wasn't a good scene. We all but hit them with the boat. They took off, we took off, everybody about pooped themselves. It was
Do you have a wash down pump on your boat? He did say gator love, dear. Yes.
Yes. No, I don't have a washdown boat. We do in the pontoon, but not on the bass boat.
Well, I can tell you that if Brian and I come down, you may need to install a wash down.
It'll all wash off.
Whoa, we're not. Whoa, Brian. No, Brian and I are going. What? We've already talked about this.
We did.
I didn't
agree to that.
I just booked it through Expedia.
You know what?
$82.
Well, you better take somebody else. I'm not going to be milking cow.
Look, Freddie didn't get invited earlier, so me and Freddie will go down. I know. Look, Chris got excited before the show about booking that trip when you were talking about all that cattle. He's really loves to milk the bulls.
Yeah.
So
my favorite.
He's really got excited. He's already put in our chat that hey, I'm going down there.
If Chad and Freddie is going too, then I'm cool with that. But I'm not going down there just with you.
Me either.
That never stopped you before.
Chris is like,
I got pictures.
We're gonna go down there and watch that gator love.
let's discuss the crappie charters a little bit here then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Hold on,
come down
before-
during the winter, that's during our crappie spawn.
Hold a second. Before we do that, what does a bass charter cost?
Just email me. We'll discuss it. I mean, there's different prices for different people. So
Well, people might be
Like
curious.
your
Well, I'm
normal
talking-
price. Your normal price.
I'll give you the generic prices,
It depends. We got to talk about it.
but I'll shoot up the generic price. It's $3.50 a day. I supply everything with the license and your food and drink. And I'm that guy. If we're out there and it's hot and the fish are biting, we're not leaving if fish are biting. I mean, I'm not on a clock. I've fished daylight till dark, and then I've rolled out in 6 hours, you know. But I'm not the guy that'll tell you to leave. It's all on you. You just bring yourself. I'll supply everything, slap you in, and that's for 2 people. You know, that's for the boat. The boat can be rented for $3.50. I'll put you on fish all day.
And if you're paying, you're fishing. John's
Yeah,
not
I don't
fishing.
fish. I sit in the back, run the trolling motor, net you fish video. I mean, if you watch like any of the coach videos, that's how I pamper. I mean, you're pampered. You bring it in, your hook's out of your bait. You literally turn around, and I'll see me right there. I'll keep you rolling.
So
So in
350,
that
and it's
area,
not an hour limit.
In that area, is there a lot of, so I guess I know the answer, but in that area, there's a lot of cabins and stuff on the water that people can rent.
Not really.
Only on Blue Cypress.
There's nothing at Donkeyland is in the
You
middle
know,
of
so not where you
absolutely
are.
nowhere. There's not even signal at Donkeyland. We call it adventure fish. That's a 13-mile sugar sand road off the pavement just to get back into Donkeyland. But if you watch any professional bass fishing, you know the lake. They all call it Jurassic Park. You know, everybody from Scott Martin, Mike Iaconelli, everybody makes a video from that lake when they come down here. It was the #1 trophy lake in Florida. I mean, it's a small little, it's a reservoir. It used to be flooded orange groves. In the 90s, they built a dirt wall around flooded orange groves, let it fill up. Now it's full of grass mats and giant bass.
We have 3 small favorites that we go to.
3 smaller lakes, yeah.
3 smaller lakes, but there are others that we do go to.
And it's what we call small. You know, we live on Lake Okeechobee, which is 37 miles long, 35 miles wide. So some of these lakes may not be that small, but they're a lot smaller than Okeechobee.
Yeah, but still 350 for
Yeah,
all
that's-
day or
yeah,
wherever
Oh, yeah.
long it is.
Hey, that's a good
So,
price.
well, a lot of guys a lot of guys will go like 4 hours and it's this much,
Yeah.
and if you want
And
this
see-
much, and then you can allow 2 people, or if you add more people, it's X. Or,
I can't add
additional.
more than one. other.
Right. Yeah. Well, you have a glitter rocket and they only hold, 2
One in
people.
front, one in the back. You ought to see me in the middle between 2 not that good of fishermen. And I'm that damn ninja boy. Hey.
That's where he got his moves from.
That's it, man. Like I said, you got to know when to, anybody being a guide, you got to know when to turn the radio on and get them singing, or you got to do a dance to get the luck change. It's all BS, dude. I mean, really,
And y'all
I
know
come
that's
in-
full of it.
I come in these chats just practicing my routine for my charter trips. That's how I just start the jokes and just keep them rolling. And Coach
No, Curtis.
Coach has been here so many times, he knows all my stories. Except Coach does it here well and don't like to admit it. So I can just repeat stories and he laughs and goes on. So
Huh?
So
Yeah,
which coach which coach are we talking about
it's
here?
our coach. You wouldn't. Yeah, it's our coach. It's everybody in the bass world on my side would know exactly. He's an old football player, college football, 2-time All-American, big old boy. He just started coming down, and he's our best client. We pick him up at the airport. He literally walks out with a little bag, gets in the back of the car. We put him in a room, feed him. 5 days later, we take him back to the airport. He gets out, goes into the airport, and does it 4, 5, 6 times a year.
And it's not for $350 for that. That's all inclusive, and it's a pretty penny.
Thompson asked.
Because
Sorry.
he gets fed 3 meals. I pack every one of their snacks. They get fed well.
Oh, wow.
I'm liking this.
Thompson, no, I didn't take Garth Brooks. I've been with Roland, and I was supposed to take Hank Parker, but that fell apart. Ended up taking his producer.
But John will work for you. He
Yeah, it's
will
all
work
about you.
for
It's all about you in the boat.
Yeah.
But now we have had Bob came and wanted a 3-day charter, but one day he wanted Lindy to go because he wanted to challenge her in the competition. So she crawled in the back of the boat and smacked him around all day. So it was good. Bob's a great guy. Bob's from Wisconsin. He's a big fella.
Yes.
But
But he's a good fisherman
Great.
as well.
I'd pick him up with like you were talking, he got a little bed and breakfast, paid out the nose for this little ranch stuff. There's hotels around. Anyway, I picked him up. We have to go through these dairies. There's like 5 dairies down this road. So I tell Bob, I was like, be careful, man. You know, it really stinks up here because when it gets hot, I mean, them dairies are horrible.
I'll bet.
We get up there and old Bob from Wisconsin looks around and smells. He goes, that just smells like Wisconsin. And dude, I laughed. It was just the funniest thing I ever heard, man. It was great. Oh, Thompson wanted me to say, yeah, I took Garth Brooks just messing with Chad. Sorry, I didn't.
No, I wouldn't have believed him anymore. Say, I've done caught him in too many lies in this show.
I need to tell you about the friend I got that got his arm snatched off. That's a whole great story. That's another one for another day.
So what? Tell us about your wife. What's she do?
Let's hear about the true fisher woman.
Well,
and
in the bass world,
how much better she is than you.
She outfishes me quite often in the bass world.
That's only because I fished so much when he was out hunting, but also because he is such a good teacher. His daddy taught me. He taught me.
Listen
I
to
learned. I'm a good learner.
She did. That's so funny. We went through probably 15 years of her getting so mad because I catch way more fish. She didn't see how we could use the same bait, and I caught more fish. And now I say that crap from the back of the boat. I don't know what happened, my God. It's bull. It's bullshit.
But it's something that is just came inside me that I just love. I mean, it is such a passion. I really enjoy it. I enjoy the different styles, the techniques, but that adrenaline rush when you catch that fish and it grabs you and it goes when it pulls that drag. I mean, it is such a adrenaline rush. I mean, it's just something that's just instilled in me. I love fishing.
She took right to it. She had never fished, never nothing when we got married.
But I fish, and he'll want to quit before I do. I just love to fish.
So you're an actual licensed captain.
Yes, Coast Guard captain. She's a captain.
We're not talking to you, John, because you're not.
It's time to switch seats.
Time to switch seats over to the
captain. Are you live stoking me, man? Come on now.
I took the first aid course, CPR, had to do the blood test, physical, took the test, which was hard. It was very hard. But I did it. I did the maps. I love the navigation. That was fun. I excelled in high school and college, so that was just right up my alley.
But she had to learn like all the flags on an aircraft carrier and stuff to take people out on Okeechobee. A lot of it's, I mean,
and all the
signals
and signs.
Crazy stuff she had to learn.
And all the shipping signals and the tug lights and flags.
Right, all the 3 lights on the front and the 1 flag on the back, and
it was a lot to it.
But yeah,
how long did it take to do that process?
About 8 months.
Yeah, probably because you started in. Now this is with fishing all along too. This is not this is fishing day.
But I mean, I studied. I didn't just go in there and take the test and fail it. I studied. I got the books. I did the online course.
Taught herself. Yeah, she did it all herself. I went through it and
then completely did everything when I was able to sit down and thought, I can pass this. I paid for my course test and then I took the test. Yeah, it's quite a bit of money.
And it's money you put in that you're not going to get back if it don't work out.
But it's an achievement that I did, and I'm proud of myself for doing it as well.
Yeah, I've that test is something. And the thing is, and for anyone that's ever taken it, most of the questions don't even correlate to current things.
Right.
Correct.
They don't have an example of that question in there anywhere. It's somewhere in between.
Well, I mean, we don't even use the navigation like that anymore.
Right. Correct.
It's like for 50 years ago.
Correct. Because of the updated GPS and all of that. Yeah. And also, they're not wanting you to use your common sense. When they ask you a question, they want to know the answer that they told you to.
Right. Well, the way they word, like the rules of the road and navigation, and it's very difficult to navigate what the answer is.
Exactly.
But it's all because Okeechobee, you could actually go to the Gulf or the ocean. So Lindy could technically take a crappie charter out 200 yards from the ramp and make a wrong turn and end up in South America. I mean, it's
Yeah, so-
possible. It's possible. So
Just to clear it up for anybody, the reason that she needs, and a lot of people don't know this, but the reason that she needs a true captain's license is because they are technically on navigable water.
right. Anything the Coast Guard polices.
If you're landlocked lakes, things like that, you don't need that license.
Which doesn't, there's captains that aren't fishing guides, but Lindy is a fishing guide and a captain.
They also have to have them for the airboats.
Yeah,
So many of them have been busted here lately because they don't have their license.
the charters do for airboat rides. They got it worse. They have to have like a defibrillator on their airboat if they're running charter, airboat rides. They've got it even tougher. But they're sitting strangers in front of, like my neighbor's got one that's like 500 more plus horsepower. It's a death machine. I mean, you're sitting strangers in front of a giant fan. So you got to have a little more rules.
And I could take the license further. I could do intercoastal. I could do out 12 feet out in the line.
Yeah. You can increase your weight, your tonnage.
Yeah.
That's the neat thing about that. So a lot of people don't realize that when they take the test, if you'd actually take the next tonnage to be a master captain, it's not that much more work, and you got that extra license.
Like I said, all we need, we just had to have a captain for charter. Unless we can talk about the charters. We run crappie charters during the spawn on Okeechobee. All the crappie are coming off the lake and getting up in these reeds and spawning. So we'll set up. We got this pontoon set up. Live well, 14 rod holders, 14 poles, all live bait, big lights all the way around it for night fishing. I mean, it's the dove hunting of the fishing world. I don't know if anybody deer hunts and dove hunts, but dove hunting is always the community thing.
Oh
We
my
can
God.
take up to 5 people, on crappie charters, load the pontoon boat up, BYOB, same price. We charge $350.
That's what I was just looking at. I'm sorry.
But those aren't all
That works.
Oh my God.
that's experience talking right there. That's exactly
Oh
what
my
that is.
goodness.
Is that why when he's live, sometimes he walk away and then he comes back all amped up?
Well, wasn't it just not too long ago he went back to his truck and the battery was dead? We all know why now. I mean, he's been up there clamping.
That's like a jump start.
Oh, Danny.
Hey Danny, to save time, do you leave the clamps on or do you take them on and off each time?
Are they taped on like those tests?
He's got like one of those quick plugins.
Yeah, he got quick clamp.
Yeah.
Why do you all think in his live he parks so close and he's always like, "I'll be right back. Gotta go to the truck."
It sounds like you need a drop cord.
Hey, Mark, that's why they go fishing all the time together.
That could be possible too.
Lord have mercy.
Like clamps on at all times.
I bet Parker's got jumper cables in his boat.
Clamps on.
Danny, come fish with you. You got jumper cables? Oh no, dude.
Anyway,
Not
back
getting
to-
on your boat.
Back to the crappie fishing, but what these people will charter it, and we'll get 4 or 5 people. You can keep 25 a piece. They got to be 10 inches long. And man, it turns into just the party time. We'll catch 150 fish when they're running good. I mean, it's just fun. It's just you're laughing, carrying on. And we use glorified cane poles. They're the extendable crappie poles.
Retractable.
Yeah, and like I said, we run 14 poles, set them around the boat. We had to number all the poles. We used to didn't have them numbered. It's hard to tell somebody which cork to go after, and it's the one you can't see. There's 13 out there, and you're trying to tell them to go find that 14. So we numbered them, and it's funny. You'll be sitting there, and everybody starts screaming 3, 3, 5, 5, and it's just they're a lot of fun. We have a great time with those.
So you guys do that at night only? Is that what you're saying?
No, we only do 6-hour trips. That's the only one that's timed usually. But if they're biting better in the morning, we'll tell people. If they're biting better, like most of the time, we'll go like right before sundown, fish like an hour before sundown, all through sunset into dark. Because you can't beat a sunset over Okeechobee. I'm sure you know. I mean, it just becomes a whole experience out there. I mean, and we're not that far from the ramp. You can about see it across there where we're catching them. I mean, those are the really fun times. Plus, you get to take all the fish home.
But that ain't gonna save you from no gators.
Pardon?
Sir?
You can't go. You can't see those gators at night.
Those
No,
gators
hey,
in
we're up
my
in the pontoon, which there is a video of an alligator crawling in a freaking pontoon, but they're not as
Brian's just like, what?
Now,
Why
now
down
Don's
there?
definitely not coming down there.
Yeah.
You can see them.
they're not as bad on Okeechobee because it's such a big lake. They're scattered. Donkeyland, they're just all up on you.
And
I
they
mean,
have
What-
red eyes.
What
They're not
town?
gonna-
What town are you guys in?
Okeechobee,
Okeechobee.
Oh, right in Okeechobee.
the town.
Yeah.
And that's on the north tip of the lake. If you look at the lake, Okeechobee sits, I mean, exactly on the
If we
north
stood
tip.
on top of our house, we can see the lake.
Yeah, it's just right over there. The canals are right behind us, but the lake's just right
We
there.
are the very tip north point.
We actually live on Okeechobee, the battleground from the Battle of Okeechobee from the Second Seminole War. It happened
Which is a great story.
here in the yard. I mean, right? Ground zero, they say, is like 50 yards around the neighbor's dirt road there. So
Oh,
So
wow.
metal detecting on your property would be pretty good. To find
it
some
probably
metal.
would. I'm sure it would. And it's crazy. We looked it up. I think like 8 countries have owned our yard. You know, it's
Wow.
Spain. I mean, everybody has owned my freaking yard at one time.
So if I do come down there, I'll bring my metal detector, pay for a charter, send the wife off fishing with you, and I can play in the yard all day.
And dude, we live beside like 100 and something acre park that's completely grown up. It's the battleground park. Nobody comes out there. I mean, it's full of wild pigs and all. I mean, you can spend all day out there. And it's sand. We used to find arrowheads in North Carolina, but here everything, I guess it sinks in the sand. So it's probably just 6-8 inches under there. You know, it's got to be stuff there. That's right, Eric. We got some pigs. We got some cool pig thinning out videos.
And we know it's there because they started digging, getting ready to put in a foundation for a house.
Right
and they-
beside us.
And they
You can-
found artifacts.
You,
Yeah, the lot beside us, before it became a park, we were the last house built in this area because you can see beside us where it's flat, but they were putting in for the foundation and hit some burial grounds and it all just stopped.
We
Oh,
have
wow.
a cul-de-sac. He's Captain Cul-de-sac.
Yeah, that's what the neighborhood calls me, is Captain Cul-de-sac back here.
you guys see you guys catch the hogs out in the middle of the lake swimming across them?
I don't, but the airboat guys chase them down in the marsh. I got a buddy, they run up on some and couldn't find the pig at the last minute, and it was actually under the airboat. They just mashed it in the mud, had to let it get out. But talking about me being Captain Cul-de-sac, I live at the end of my neighborhood, and let me just say, 7 pounds of tannerite. That'll tell you what my neighbors think of me. I mean, that wasn't too long ago, so they know me. 7 pounds of tannerite, dude. People across town posted it on the Okeechobee Facebook page. What the hell was that?
That's a lot.
'Cause, you know, it's flat. I mean, you know, that stuff will roll. It rolled all the way across town.
Mhm.
Yeah, 7 pounds is a big bada boom. Big bada boom. But we get probably, Batty comes down, we probably take 10, 12 pigs a year. I could take more. Like right now, if I went out here with a light, I'm sure there's pigs out there. You got to fence your yards up. They tear them apart.
How many people from this community I know Michael Murillo and his family came down.
Yes, Mr.
Right.
Murillo came down. That was a fun
That
trip.
was all it was.
She's a hoot. Everybody knows. What's her name? I can't even remember now. Y'all probably know.
Lauren.
Lauren. That's right, Lauren. She was a damn hoot. Murillo was cool. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's a real big boy.
He's all
You got-
right.
Him a big boy. Him a really big boy.
Yeah.
So Murillo the only one that's came down so far that
Well, let me think that anybody would know. So many of them from the Basque end.
they don't matter.
I know. Off the hook.
All them bastards want to do is come right where I'm fishing and drive by me, right? You know, they have all this all the whole river, and they want to come the 5-10 yards between me and the bank.
No, we don't get any of that. But we left out the part with the crappie fishing that we catch a
Left it up.
heck of a bunch of little catfish. I mean, I swear we're going to join one of these dang number tournaments y'all have. We're just going to sit out there crappie fish and wreck it. I mean, in an evening, we might catch 30 or 40, and they're all probably 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds.
Yeah, well,
Oh, so you fish like Freddie.
you'd fit right in on all these dink tournaments.
I was
Yeah,
saying
I
you
don't
fit
know.
in like anybody that fishes Potomac, like Brian. Well, I know Brian don't fish no more, but
And I talked with Chad. We caught like a freaky one
He's up.
that I think was a flathead. Didn't we decide, Chad?
yeah, I think the way you described it, it was a flathead.
Some kind of green, old looking, strange, old, I don't know, it's weird catfish.
It might have been Freddie.
Could have been.
No, it
So-
didn't have any food stains on the front of it.
Yeah.
Well, It wasn't Freddie.
Nope, if you don't drill nothing down your chin, it ain't me. I gotta have a little on the shirt.
But
Yeah.
all the trips are fun. Like I said, we just laugh. If you watch our videos, you can tell we're just glad to not be working and down here enjoying life, man. Really, that's all we're doing.
Yeah, living
Well,
the dream.
I got a question for you because obviously I figured out why bass boats come flying by all the great cat fishermen. They're trying to steal our secrets, and I was watching your video, and we'll see Miss Lindy just showing off right here.
That's Donkey Land where we're
But
at.
if you notice, I thought bass fishermen always just boat flipped everything, but John has a catfish net from stealing our secrets. That's why he's in our community.
Look at that net. The measurements are inside the net. You can see how long it is laying in the net.
Yeah.
That's a freaking $200 net we won in a tournament that we've done broke once.
The handle.
Nobody would buy a $200 net. I said, I'll get it because we
Look
won
at
the
that.
tournament.
Look at that bait. Could you imagine having that under a float? But I was
fit in my frying pan.
I was laughing because I was like, oh, we talked the other night, John, and I was like, oh, okay. So that's why bass fishermen have a mile of river that they could be going up and down, but they fly right between me and the bank. Is because you're all out there stealing secrets, and you were out there figuring out how to net fish. So I didn't know you guys did that in the bass world.
The reason bass fishermen do that is because
They're idiots.
No, well, besides
Thanks,
that,
Lindia.
it's the way I fish. If I'm not getting a bite on this cast, I bet that son of a gun's biting right over there, and I'm on the hunt. And when I'll be the first to tell you, if we're going to move the boat 50 yards, dude, I'll plane that mug out 50 yards. I mean, all she'll do to run right back down.
Well, hold on. Let's go ahead and I'm going to defend this a little bit, Chad. You're not going to be happy, but if you're a boater, anyone that has a boat, would you rather that someone fly right by you,
I know where this is
or
going.
shut it down and wake the?
Oh no, definitely be on plane and go by me.
Yeah. So
me and Chad had that comment. I was telling him most of the bass guys here, the second they hear your boat go, well, just a little, you'll see the hand, come on. And, they just run on by. I do hate the guys that get 20 yards from you and go, whoa.
yeah, I'll actually be honest. When we were fishing a lot of tournaments, a group of us would intentionally wake each other. We'd come right by each other and wake each other. And the reason we did that, we caught a lot of fish right after the wake because it disturbed, it picked all of our rods up, bounced everything. And lots of times it would trigger a bite. So even though you don't like guys riding by you and things like that bother you, even like weather and those kind of weather conditions, lots of times there's not a thing wrong with it. It's not going to hurt any of your fishing.
Randy, yeah, they got wake boats and wake boarders and sea-doos all over on the coast. Out here in the middle with all the gators, we don't get no jet skis. We don't get no sea-doos. He's got fishing rig on it. He's going way to hell out there to fish. We don't get a lot of joy. We don't get a lot of pleasure boats. If they do, they're airboats running in the marsh. Mud boats are big here with the young kids. The kids with the 4-wheel drive trucks, they all got a big badass mud boat. And they're back in there tearing up the half-inch mud, water and all. They're giving hell.
Yeah, they were bad.
In Florida, you can absolutely have fun. I'll tell you a story. Our neighbor took us on his airboat. We went down Okeechobee. We pulled up on this big mound. What it is back years ago when the lake got shallow, they pushed up all the muck, made a big old island. Well, he pulls his airboat up on top of it. This whole mound is covered with shotgun shells and broken skeet. I mean, ankle deep or more, just everywhere. So I look at my buddy. I was like, is this legal? He goes, nobody says nothing. So a week or so later, we got checked by the game warden in Okeechobee. And I thought of it. I was like, hey, man, all them skeet and all down there, is that legal? He goes, man, the way we look at it, there's so much area out here. If they're not killing one another, let them be. And that's kind of, if you're not out there, we've been here, 9 years, and I bet I haven't seen 8 people pulled over. You really got to screw up in here to get in trouble. As long as you're just fishing, doing your thing, ain't bothering nobody. Ain't nobody bothering you.
But we're backwoods country. Everybody's armed. You know, they don't muck with
Don't
us.
nobody mess with nobody. Everybody just does their thing.
There's
You
more
go
of us than them.
You go to Home Depot and you hear Spurs, and you look over and there's two cowboys loading plywood in Spurs. You're like,
Or a badass chick that's tall and beautiful.
we got some
She's
cool
got
cowboy
Spurs
girls. Yeah,
on.
we got real cowboys. That's just what blows me away. I mean,
Girls, cowgirls too.
yeah, they're not these, you know, oh, well, I got a couple horses at home. I'm a cowboy. These, the one I saw was an old guy had on cowboy boots with the white rubber boots like you see at the coast. You know what I'm talking about? The
Mud boots.
They were pulled over top of his cowboy boots, and then he had his spurs on over the. I said, that dude is a cowboy. He don't give a shit what he looks like at Home Depot. You know, he's working. It's cool.
Yeah. Now, a quick question: have y'all seen an increase of like your constrictor snakes and stuff coming up that way?
We have it. Yeah, there's some sightings on Okeechobee, but like Okeechobee's the start of the Everglades. We are literally like 30, 45 minutes above. You know, the constrictors, the iguanas, you know, we're starting to get an iguana once in a while. We got big lizards. But, you know, we just drive down to like Clewiston and there's freaking 3-foot long lizards running across the road. From there south, it's worse. So all that's just a little bit south of us.
It's a temperature difference. Right
Just
there.
that little bit between South
Really?
Oak. You know, so you're talking about within 30 some miles, but they're coming. I mean, it's starting to slowly. We used to not have those big red tail lizards. We're getting those now. So it's coming.
Well, so yeah, I was wondering how the snake issue was, how it was moving up, but
Pythons,
Yeah.
they're both-
pythons and stuff
I know,
like
we got-
that.
But we got snakes.
We've
Oh, we
heard-
got some snakes.
We've heard there's been like 1 or 2 spotted around the area, kind of close to us.
Yeah, that guy out of Clewiston on the radio station, Steve Daniel, he said he saw one swimming under their boat.
Now, what's the deal with the peacock bass? Are those in the lakes that you're fishing as well? Are they
They're
stocking
the
them?
same line with the iguanas, dude. They're like 30 minutes. But now we drive down there. Well, y'all don't know Coastal Fever. But anyway, another buddy of ours. But we go in those canals and
Coastal
all.
fever is.
Okay, catch peacocks. What's the other ones? The snakeheads, clown knife fish. That's the one I hadn't caught that I want to catch. Those fish swim backwards.
Yeah. But the peacock bass, they are like big bass on steroids.
They fight.
Yeah.
Like, you can't hold it. She caught like a 5-pounder that's a big for here for a peacock. But you catch like a 3-pounder, you can't hold him for a picture with your thumb. I mean, there's just no way to hold him.
He's a two.
Well, that was kind of what kind of piqued my interest too, because again, we talked, John, about me being younger, and all those tournaments down on Okeechobee got me interested in it, that area and stuff. But the peacock bass and red tail catfish videos that I used to watch of people going down to the, into the Amazon and fishing and seeing people, I mean, literally casting for a peacock bass, and they would hit so hard it would snap their rod in two. I mean,
Yeah, they get big in South America.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And yes, Nubby, if you got the dime, I got the time, man. We'll go catch some peacocks. We'll find something.
Okay.
I don't fish them as much, but I know some spots. I mean, and if we could drive an hour south. It just gets easier and easier catching peacocks. We go down to the Everglades, and you can put on like a beetle spin, man, and catch peacocks, cichlids, Oscars.
Yeah.
I mean, every kind of fish tank, kind of cool fish. They're just in the canals. Guys go down there and get 150 fish just catching weird stuff. Weird stuff.
Coolers and coolers full.
A lot of
They
people,
came back with them.
they're into them Oscars, and people eat the hell out of Oscars.
Yeah.
We had
They're
some in our fish
slimy.
tank. We used to have them in the fish tank, but they eat them. The other ones are the cichlids with the red dot, isn't it? Mayan cichlids.
Yeah.
We're on the
catch,
verge
Robbie.
of Team Snag and Whiskers going live. I forgot last week, and I'm going to apologize to my dear friend, but I want to bring this up real quick before we end the show and people start heading over. But let me click on this right here. So they're doing a 16th annual. It's a fundraiser out in Virginia. I'll actually post this to my community page as well. But they're looking to try to get donations from every state in the community. So, it's some kind of poker run. Like I said, it's all the information is right here, and I'll post this also to my community page. But I'm trying to remember what the dates was. Oh yeah, Saturday, October 5th. So hopefully in the next month or so, we get some donations out of this to help these guys out. This is the Exiled MC Club out of Virginia. They do a lot of charity work over there and raising money. And Miss Michelle makes some beautiful things to help with their auction. So I definitely want to help support her as much as she and Tom have done for us as well. So I wanted to make sure I remembered to get this out there this week, and I will share that to my community page as well to hopefully get some people to be able to see that.
Chad, send it to or go on my channel and put it under the brand or the whatever you can put it under. So I'll have it for sale.
Okay, I will do that. I will do that.
Wait a minute. So Chad has access to Brian's YouTube channel.
Crap, we weren't supposed to tell him that we all have access to each other's.
I don't either, Chris. So me and you in both in the same boat with Brian.
I don't even have access to end the show early.
Yeah, but to be fair, Freddie shouldn't, and he's ended the show twice as many times as Brian has.
I have not ended the show but once. Nina
Twice.
did the other time. Nina did
You ended a tournament in the middle of it.
Well, yeah, I didn't do that on purpose.
Anyway.
So, Chad, I'm not supposed to hit this end live button.
How did you get it too? It's like, damn, Brian's giving it to everybody except for Chris.
I have no power, no authority.
No authority.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Why don't you go ahead and shout out for anybody that doesn't know maybe your website and who you are.
And one other thing that I'd love for you to shout out, because what is the best baits to catch your big old baits?
Bruiser baits. You can get yours at bruiserbait.com or Bass Addiction Gear and use code SWC20 for 20% off your order.
All caps.
All caps. And we're sponsored by Bruiser Bait, Flat Out Tungsten, and Bass Addiction Gear. And that's not affiliate. They fully sponsor us. I mean, those guys are great to us. And that's all we throw are Bruiser Bait. So I would say a Bruiser Bait Super Swimmer Houdini color. There you go. That's the best bass bait. 4-aught hook, belly weight. And yes, Danny, when it gets cold, iguanas fall from the trees and break car windows. Yes. And I don't think we have monitor lizards. Isn't that them big ass ones that like kill people? Got like iguanas, but I don't think we have monitor lizards.
There have been the great big lizards spotted here.
Have they? Well,
they're invasive, yeah. Somebody used them as pets and they got loose and now they're starting to spawn.
Sounds like we need to monitor that situation.
See what you did there.
Yeah. And hey, to anybody before we end, to anybody that wants some Catfish gear at some extra low knockoff prices, looks like Freddie over here at FOA Customs and steals your logos and gear has decided to start producing some Catfish shirts unauthorized, and I understand they're at extra low bargain prices.
And you can get a discount with the stain.
Yeah, I want mine with the food stain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything he sells comes stained.
I like fingerprints on it and all. Everything he touches gets all smudged. Yeah, okay, I know the guy.
So, Freddie, what do you eat every day?
What?
Like one common thing or two common things that you eat every day?
Peanut butter and jelly.
So you can get a peanut butter and jelly stain shirt, or you can get a
ketchup.
Natural
ketchup stain shirt.
Stain.
You know,
and I'm not going to tell you the other kind of stain you can get. You got to contact FOA Customs again.
Yeah, I'm going.
Those are those shorts that I got from Catfish Clothing.
What?
Use FTW10 to get 10% off, and you will be satisfied or unsatisfied, whatever.
Hey, and Catfish has a sale going on their hoodie still, right? How long is that good for?
Oh, it's going to go on for, I don't know, another week or so.
All right. It's 40% off, correct?
It is 40% off.
But don't use FTW20 because he'll yell you're using the wrong code.
Only one code works.
Look, I was trying to give my fans
you can't combine codes.
Whatever. You can either use FTW20 or you can use hoodie and get 40% off.
Chris, he doesn't care about you is basically what he said. He's
said
gonna get to that
fans-
Alibaba price.
Look, ever
Didn't
since he
even
gave
think.
Fields to Water that code, he's had a weekly sale that was either 21 to 40% off.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, he's got a different code every week.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And then he wants to bitch at me because I don't sell nothing. But
But-
whatever.
I've never brought that up one single time. The things I complain about don't have nothing to do with the catfish stuff.
Guys, it was a blast having you. I appreciate it. Maybe we can do this again sometime, and especially after you get out there and catch you one of them big old monitor lizards, and you get Brian B down there on the boat, and you do a video of him pooping his pants when the alligator rolls by chasing his
The only
bait.
thing I ask is anybody that hadn't watched one of our videos, just go watch one. I mean,
Yeah.
they're fun. I make them fun to watch. Even if you don't like bass fishing, you're gonna hear a song you like, or you're gonna laugh, or something's gonna happen.
They're
Yeah,
not
'cause we didn't even-
boring videos.
Yeah, I get a little creative.
Yeah, you definitely gotta go check out the channel and watch a couple videos. Unlike Chad, since we know he hasn't watched any of them because he
I
doesn't know
have
anything
too.
about it.
He admitted that the other day, man. I was talking about my last. He goes, man, I ain't. I said, you ain't.
Yeah.
Look, I have too because I've just watched one.
I know you commented on that one after that. Yeah, you did.
And the crazy thing is, he didn't even realize that your father was the guy that started
I know.
doing the streaming and stuff.
And he's been listening to LL Cool J and just had no clue.
I had no
No
idea.
clue.
No idea you were the sound master for LL Cool
No,
J.
You gotta
road,
keep-
road manager, not sound man.
Oh, road manager.
Yeah.
I'm not. Never mind. I ain't gonna go there. I'm not gonna add to my rock and roll.
Guys, go over and check out Team Snag and Whiskers. We're out of here. Have a good
Thanks,
weekend.
guys.
Check out Brian B.
Quit using bass for bait. No
and
bass
Paul
for
Meadow.
bait. No bass.
See you Saturday for the
Wheel
wheel.
of Fortune.
Catfish Wheel of Fortune.
Catfish Wheel of Fortune, y'all. Is
Yeah,
gonna be
y'all. I don't even
It's
want to
gonna
build
be
this sheep.
very
Bye.
confusing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Catfish Wheel of Fortune. Saturday night.